All right, guys, I am back from AB to 360. I promised you that I will be back. I've got a couple of episodes lined up for you guys throughout the December holidays. Couple of interesting points. I hope you guys enjoy it. Today we'll start off with power hitting. The 360 power hitting. We all talk about finding distance with your willow. Everyone wants to hit the ball further. It's a trend of today. You see it in the IPL, T20 cricket. It's changed the game completely. Even Test cricket these days, you see some big sixes. We see the distance meter up there, players getting it to over 100 meters. But how do you create that kind of power? When it comes to six hitting, all the basics still apply. From episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4, when we talk about the grip, the back lift, the foot position, the kind of base you get set in, all these things still apply with six hitting. And I told you guys in that last episode that you still want to be in a good position with this trailing forearm connected to the bat, and then you only release right at the end. The same thing still applies, and it comes down to timing. Now there's the secret I didn't mention with that intro. It's all about timing the cricket ball. But what does it actually mean? So if you have that strong base, a lot of the power lies in the hips. You want to clear, especially this right hip. All right. A lot of people talk about clearing the left one. I think the left one clears automatically when you drive with the right side through the ball. Now you don't want to be hanging back a touch and drive too early. You also don't want to be too late and too square on as the ball reaches, and you get to sort of try and release a little bit too late at the last minute. So what you'd like to do is drive with this right hip through the ball and have a bat lag. I don't know if you've heard about people talking about the bat lagging. What I'd like to refer to when it comes to that is to have this arm connected with a bat and let the body do the talking. Let the body lead the cricket bat. Similar to golf as well. A lot of people talking about lagging the club, and that is it. That's that action. Before, see, my body's already almost rotated and open, and then release. That's a golf swing. Similar thing applies to cricket. All right, but my lag or my reference point is my forearm with my blade. I want it to be there, have it lag, come through with that right hip, and right at the end, see, my bat is still there. And I've got a couple of examples I'm going to show you now at the WCL facing Dan Christian. One of my favorite shots was hitting a big six over there at Headingley over the cow corner, or long on. It was quite straight actually, but you can clearly see in that video this right hip coming through, bat lagging, still in connection there, and then right at the end, head a bit more upright. Right at the end, I released and I found the middle of the bat. When you lag like that and your body starts to lead, that's where you create maximum power, and that is how you time a cricket ball. Same thing applies with normal cricket shots, keeping that in place for as long as possible, and right at the end having a little check drive. Same thing with power hitting. The only difference is this right hip will come through more aggressively and a little bit up while this bat lags, and that's a perfect position. It's almost like a spring that's locked and loaded and about to explode. That's what I want. Right hip through the ball, and right at the end, bang, you go through the ball, and that's where you create maximum power. For power hitting, there are a few drills I used, and you're going to laugh at this because it doesn't really go with power hitting. I always start off with the basics, guys. So I would use a stump, not one of those, one of the old school wooden stumps, and I would just sort of get that feeling of getting that right hip coming through the ball while lagging with a stump, but just check driving, just feeling, being aware of the right hip, because that's where the power is. All right. It doesn't mean I'm going to change my feet, guys. Look at my feet here. It's still there. I don't all of a sudden do funny things. It's just the right hip coming through. You feel that? The other thing is the Jacques Kallis drill, standing still with your feet, not moving, and same thing. I've got to use my hips here to create power if I'm not moving my feet at all. So get someone to throw balls to you, and all you do is check drive. Look at that. You see, I'm working or learning how to use my right hip through the ball without playing early. It's all about seeing. Keep that lag, right hip, and then play. Right hip, play. Right hip through the ball, and play. A couple of good exercises to do so, and once you get used to it, start going aerial, but not looking for power yet, just timing. It's all about the sink. It's all about timing the cricket ball. All right, same thing, feet still, just start hitting them in the air, a couple of them over there, one or two through there, but get that feeling of syncing up with your right hip and your arms. Look at that leg and through the ball. Last but not least, there's a lot of information that can be essential in order for you to be successful. Get all the information in, have a look at the captain, what they're trying to do, at the bowler, at the field they set. You get a lot of information through that, knowing or sort of getting behind the plan of the bowler and understanding what he's trying to do, how he's trying to contain you, how is he trying to get you out. All that information is incredibly important while getting your game plan ready. If you know more or less what line the bowler's trying to bowl, is he got a big offside field and maybe attacking the wide line, or does he have a very neutral field and you almost don't know what to expect? He can sort of come straight but also can use the wide line. All that information you can get by just looking at the field. Sometimes with the 4 guys out on the leg side, only 1 on the offside, I know that guy can't afford to go outside off. He's got to come attacking line straight at the stumps, leg stump even. And now I can start sort of building up a game plan around what he's showing me. What is his change of pace or his change up? Will it be an off cutter, a leg cutter, a bouncer, a slower bouncer, leg stump Yorker? What are all his options? And how is he trying to get me out? And how is he trying to contain me? You have to get that information in place and as much as possible in order to sort of get your game plan ready for that day. Once you have that information, you are now ready to create your game plan and to build a game plan around that. What is your attacking shot now? So now we've already worried about the opposition. That's out of the way. We know how they're trying to get me out. I know how they're trying to contain me. Now it's up to me to go, how am I going to expose him here? How much risk am I prepared to take on? And how am I going to rotate strike or possibly get 2 or 3 with a very low risk option, maybe between cow and long on. Just punch it there, knowing it's maybe coming straight. Get 2 and sort of get behind that game plan once again. You know now there might be a change up coming. See the change up and then start planning. And then only you start identifying different deliveries that you would like to actually clear the boundary with. An example of that is, I know, for instance, a Bumrah, one of his best deliveries is that off-cut, a slower ball. He's got a fantastic Yorker, a wonderful bouncer as well. But I would, on the day, have a look at the dimensions of the field, maybe pick the short boundary and wait for that off-cutter. Now, obviously, have a look at the bounce and the Yorker, get off strike, get 1 or 2. But the minute I see that off-cutter, and that is where I'd identify, okay, it's boundary time, get that right hip out of the way, lag, and try and clear that short boundary. These are all the kind of game plans that you have to figure out on every single game you play, every single bowler you face. And once you try and get on top of a bowler, you have to get all that information in place in order to get an accurate game plan. All the best. Remember, it's not the guy with the biggest muscles. It's not the guy who swings hardest. It's the guy who can get the foundation in place, the basics in place, strong base, have a bit of a lag, get that right hip through the ball while your head is nice and upright, eyes level with the ground. Bang. All the best.